Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into some pretty intense source material. We're looking at the absolute chaos right after the fall of Reach, a catastrophic defeat for humanity.
Yes, specifically, we're digging into William C. Dietz's Halo, the Flood. It throws you right into the thick of it.
Right. Aboard the UNSC cruiser Pillar of Autumn, it's heavily damaged, makes this blind, desperate jump away from Reach.
And ends up crashing onto this enormous artificial ring world. The Covenant called a holy ring. We just know it as Halo.
It's just an insane scenario, pure survival mode from page one.
Exactly. And the sources, they really capture this shift. You start with high-stakes military disaster, 2552, humanity basically on the ropes against the Covenant. But then, as we'll see, the fight changes. It pivots from this known alien enemy to, well, something much older, something parasitic and, frankly, terrifying, a threat nobody saw coming.
So our mission today basically is to piece together what happened. We'll look at the tough calls made by commanders like Captain Keyes and Major Silva.
We'll definitely need to talk about this Spartan 2 program, embodied by, the Master Chief. How necessary was he, really?
Yeah, and trace that horrifying discovery of this new enemy, the Flood. How do you even fight something like that? It messes with all the rules of war.
It absolutely does. We're not just tracking the events, but the psychological toll, what happens when everything just falls apart. Okay, so to really get what the humans on Halo were up against, you first have to understand the state of the Pillar of Autumn when it limped away from Reach.
It wasn't exactly a clean getaway, was it?
Not even close. It was a scramble for survival. The ship was battered.
The sources really paint that picture vividly. We meet this character, Tech Officer Sam Marcus. He's just completely wrung out.
Yeah, the book says he'd only had 3 hours sleep in, 36 hours?
Exactly. And that's kind of the vibe for the whole crew. They lost a third of their technical staff at Reach, dead or incapacitated. So everyone left is pulling triple shifts.
Just brutal.
Yeah.
Keeping that old cruiser running must have been a nightmare.
Marcus is so tired, he's actually thinking the cryo bays sound good, just for the sleep, even though they're, forbidden. That level of exhaustion, it's the background noise of the whole ship.
And that exhaustion, that desperation, it really frames Captain Keyes' situation. He's got this reputation, right? Brilliant tactician, maybe a bit of a gambler.
The kind of guy who pulls rabbits out of hats.
But even he knows, and everyone on board knows, they're basically living on borrowed time. They dodge the bullet at Reach, but they're wounded, alone, and the Covenant are hunting them relentlessly.
And it's because things are that bad that Marcus gets yanked from his post and rushed down to Cryo 2.
Ah, yes, the special delivery.
Right. They have this top secret package they need to thaw out. Marcus sees the orders, the procedure specs, and it clicks. He knows who it is.
And even dead tired, the adrenaline must have hit hard. This is their ace in the hole.
Their ultimate weapon. And we should probably pause here, like you said, and talk about who the Master Chief actually is, because he wasn't always this public legend.
No, definitely not. The whole Spartan program has this murky past. It started way back with Project Orion in 2491.
That was originally for putting down rebellions, right? Human colonists.
Exactly. Internal security stuff. Then came Spartan 2 in 2517, even more secretive. We're talking genetically augmented child soldiers, basically. Kept completely under wraps for decades.
So how does that become a morale booster against aliens? It seems like a huge leap.
Well, the Covenant War changed the equation. Humanity was losing. Badly. Planets getting glassed, entire populations wiped out. The military, the Admiralty, they got desperate. They needed a symbol.
Something people could rally around.
Precisely. So they declassified the Spartans. They took this ethically questionable super soldier program and spun it. Turn them into legends, heroes to give people hope.
But the sources mention that by this point, most of the original Spartans are gone.
Yeah, tragically. Expended in countless desperate battles. The Master Chief, Spartan 117, he's one of the very last. The crew looks at him with this sense of awe, almost reverence. He's not just a soldier. He's like the embodiment of humanity's will to survive. Their last hope, literally.
And then he thaws out. In the armor.
The MGL Nair armor. And the description in the book is fantastic. He's huge, easily 7 feet tall.
That pearlescent green color. It's not really camo, is it? It's almost ceremonial.
It is. And the mirrored visor makes him look completely inhuman. Faceless, built for one purpose, destruction. It's meant to intimidate the enemy, absolutely, but also inspire the humans.
Okay, let's talk tech specs on the suit, because it's way more than just plating.
Oh, definitely. It's a marvel of engineering. You've got the outer shell, this multi-layered alloy, tough as nails, but then there's the refractive coating on top of it.
That's for dealing with plasma, right?
Yeah.
Covenant weapons.
Exactly. It doesn't just absorb the energy. It scatters it, disperses it, reduces the heat, the impact. Hugely important against plasma burns.
Yeah.
Then inside, you've got gel layers for temperature control, pressure stabilization.
And the crystalline storage matrix. That's the really wild part.
That's the game changer. It's designed to house a full artificial intelligence, like Cortana, an AI that would normally need, a spaceship's worth of power and cooling packed into a suit.
Directly linked to the Spartan's brain.
Which is why the suit interfaces so well. It literally doubles his strength, amps up his already insane reflexes. You combine the Spartan's biological enhancements, the stronger bones, faster muscles, better eyesight, with the suit's power.
He's basically a walking tank crossed with a fighter jet.
Pretty much. Which brings us back to that detail Marcus noticed.
He was thawed in the armor.
Yeah. Think about that. Marcus notes that for a normal person, even wearing just cotton clothes in cryo causes severe skin blistering when you thaw out. Frostbite, basically.
But the chief, nothing.
Nothing. Fully suited, no ill effects. It just underlines how different he is. Not quite human anymore. He moves with this mechanistic efficiency, the book says. Ready to fight the second he's conscious.
And he needs to be ready because almost immediately.
Yep, the Covenant catch up. Fast. Seraph fighters blow past the Autumn's outer defenses. They know where the ship is, and they're coming aboard.
Boarding parties forming up, elites, jackals, grunts.
But it's not just a brute force attack. This is where we get a glimpse into the Covenant's thinking through this one elite, Isna Nosali.
He's not just a soldier, right? He's something else.
He's an Asuna, an Eye of the Prophet, basically a high-level intelligence operative. His mission isn't just destruction, it's precision data theft.
So they weren't just trying to blow up the Autumn.
No, not primarily. Nosali had specific objectives. Grab the ship's AI, that's Cortana, capture senior officers, especially Captain Keyes, and the main prize, find the location of Earth.
Wow. So it was an intel mission first.
Absolutely. The prophets, the Covenant leaders, they apparently knew their own warriors. The elites tended to just, smash everything, which isn't great when you need information intact. Nosali was there to make sure they got the data.
Meanwhile, Keyes sees them coming. He's the tactician. He knows what they want. And then, after they clear this gas giant, he sees it.
The ring, Halo, this impossible structure hanging in space.
And he realizes, okay, we can't outrun them. And if they capture the ship...
They get Cortana. They get Keyes.
Yeah.
They get Earth's coordinates. Game over for humanity.
So he makes this unbelievable call.
The Cole Protocol. Article 2. It's the absolute last resort in UNSC doctrine.
Remind us what the Cole Protocol is exactly.
It's a set of rules designed specifically to prevent the Covenant from ever getting their hands on human navigational data, especially Earth's location or functional human FTL tech, the slipspace drives. They couldn't replicate ours, so keeping it secret was vital.
And Article 2 is the most extreme part.
It mandates destroying your ship, scrubbing all data, everything, to prevent capture. But Keyes, he takes it a step further. He's not just going to scuttle the Autumn.
He's going to use it as a weapon.
Exactly. Abandon ship and crash the whole cruiser right onto that ring structure below. Deny the enemy the prize and maybe cause some damage while he's at it.
Yeah.
Audacious.
Cortana, the AI, she argues against it. Calls it basically a pointless sacrifice.
Her line is memorable. This war has enough dead heroes. She's pure logic. She sees it as a waste.
But Keyes sees the bigger picture. Protecting Earth outweighs everything else.
And the crazy thing is, the Covenant intel mission almost worked. Nosali, the Asuna, he actually gets onto Keyes' lifeboat.
Oh.
Active camouflage. He was practically invisible. Slipped aboard right as they were evacuating. He had Keyes, the coordinates potentially within reach.
But Keyes spots him, even in the chaos.
He spots that telltale shimmer in the air, reacts instantly, grabs a pistol from a Marine next to him,
and just shoots the distortion.
Takes him out. One shot. In that split second, Keyes saves Earth. If Nosali had survived that lifeboat ride, the Covenant would have won the war. Right there.
Wow. Okay, so Keyes makes his escape, dealing with the spy. What about the Chief?
Chief's mission is different. Protect the package. He gets ordered to the bridge, grabs the chip with Cortana on it, and gets onto a separate lifeboat. VIP evac, essentially. Secure the AI at all costs.
And this is where the human forces really split up. Chief and Cortana go one way.
Keyes and his command team go another.
And then there are the guys left on the dying ship. The ODSTs, the Helljumpers.
Right. They're not getting lifeboats. They're going out the hard way. Major Antonio Silva gives the order. That iconic line.
We go feet first, sir.
That's it. They load into the HEVs, human entry vehicles, Drop pods, basically.
Not fancy escape craft, just armored cans.
Pretty much. Designed to smash through atmosphere. It's incredibly dangerous, a high-risk way to get boots on the ground fast. They're scattering, landing all over the place on the ring, miles from Keyes or the Chief, ready to fight the second they hit dirt.
So the ODSTs hit the surface. Hard. And Major Silva, their commander, he immediately thinks defense. He picks a spot for Alpha Base.
Yeah, this big geological feature like a butte or a mesa. Tall, sheer cliffs.
Not exactly beachfront property.
Hey, no. It's all about defensibility. Those cliffs mean the enemy has very few ways to attack. They either try a risky aerial assault, or they funnel themselves into kill zones trying to climb up. Classic military thinking.
So they pick the spot, then what?
They dig in. Fast. These are ODSTs. They know how to fortify quickly. Trenches, firing pits connecting everything. They set up wireless motion sensors at about 200 meters.
Like a tripwire.
Exactly. All feeding back to their tactical AI, Wellesley, who's monitoring everything. It's standard infantry defense, just on an alien ring world.
That really says something about the ODSTs, doesn't it? Even facing advanced alien tech, they fall back on solid traditional tactics, grit, and organization.
They have to, and that gets tested, like, immediately. Wellesley picks up movement. Big movement.
From the west, right. What is it?
A massive dust cloud. Wellesley analyzes it, checks Covenant vehicle signatures. It's ghosts. Lots of them. An old-fashioned cavalry charge, Silva calls it. Maybe 100 ghosts screaming towards their position.
Like ghosts against infantry just setting up. That sounds like a massacre waiting to happen.
It should have been. But Silva doesn't flinch. He gives an order that sounds, well, ancient.
What does he do?
He tells his troopers to form an infantry square.
Like Roman legions, Napoleonic wars, seriously.
Seriously, think about it. It turns the whole unit into a bristling fortress facing outwards in all directions. No weak flanks.
Okay, but these aren't horses charging them. They're ghosts. Fast-moving skimmers with plasma cannons. How does a square help?
It's about the ghosts' limitations. They're fast, yes, but their weapons are fixed forward. They're designed for strafing runs, hit and fade. They're not built to break a solid, static formation, pouring out concentrated fire from all sides.
So the ghosts just slam into this wall of firepower.
Pretty much. The ODSTs unleash everything they have, assault rifles, rockets, grenades. The ghosts pile into each other, exploding. It's absolute carnage for the Covenant.
But not free for the ODSTs.
No, definitely not. Silva tallies the cost later. 23 Helljumpers dead, 6 more critically wounded. It's a brutal price.
But Silva sees it as proof, right? Proof that they needed that defensible butte.
Exactly. He realizes that fighting in the open like that, even with clever tactics, is just too costly. The high ground is essential for survival. It underlines that ODST reality. Their methods work, but they bleed for every inch.
While Silva's dealing with massed attacks, the Master Chief is drawing a different kind of attention.
Ah, yes. Zukazamami.
This elite becomes kind of obsessed with the Chief, doesn't he?
Completely obsessed. He's personally encountered the Chief's been wounded by him, and he's convinced this one soldier is responsible for just insane numbers of Covenant casualties. Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Yeah.
He sees the Chief not just as a soldier, but as a demon almost.
So Zamami wants to hunt him down.
Desperately. He requests authorization from his commanders to form a special hunter-killer team. Just track the Chiefs, specifically.
And the Covenant leadership, they just blow him off.
Pretty much. This is where Covenant arrogance really bites them. Zamami gives them detailed reports, eyewitness accounts of what this Spartan can do. But the Council of Masters, they dismiss it.
They call it combat-induced hysteria.
Can you believe it? They literally cannot accept that a single human could be that effective. Their own dogma, their belief in their superiority, blinds them to the reality of the threat.
So Zamami is basically left stewing, operating on his own vendetta.
Which, ironically, probably helps the Chief. He's not facing a coordinated hunt, just this one obsessed elite. It allows the Chief to keep operating, keep disrupting Covenant plans, almost under the radar of their main command structure. So while the ODSTs are fortifying Alpha Base, Master Chief is operating like a ghost. He crash lands somewhere else entirely.
Just him and Cortana in his head.
Right. And his first move, scrounge. Find weapons, find allies.
He links up pretty quick with some surviving Marines, right?
Including Sergeant Johnson.
Yeah, small group led by Johnson. And immediately, the Chief's effectiveness is just off the charts. His strength, his speed, the MGL-NER armor. He just tears through the initial Covenant forces they run into, taking out Banshees, ground troops.
Efficient is the word.
Totally. And then there's that moment with the chasm. They need to cross this huge gap.
And the chief finds this alien control panel.
Yeah, Forerunner panel. And he just touches this blue-green circle. The source says it just felt right to him.
And boom, a solid light bridge appears.
Exactly. No manual, no tech support. His augmented instincts, maybe Cortana's presence, allow him to just use this incredibly advanced alien tech. It shows how different he operates.
A stark contrast to Captain Keyes and his group. They're not finding cool alien tech. They're just running.
Constantly running, trying to evade capture. Keyes knows the Covenant want him, want his knowledge. The pressure is immense.
And it breaks one of them, doesn't it? Ensign Dowski. Yeah, she snaps. She starts arguing for surrender. Makes a logical point, actually.
She says, why haven't they already killed us then? Meaning the Covenant must want them alive.
And Keyes knows she's right. Intel concerns they're being hunted for capture, not elimination, but surrender. For Keyes, that's unthinkable. Giving up Earth's location. Never.
So he makes this incredibly cold decision.
Ruthless, but maybe necessary from his perspective. He disarms Dowski, ties her up, gags her with a battle dressing.
And just leaves her there as bait.
Leaves her for the pursuing elites. Buys his team time to escape. He basically sacrifices her to save the others and potentially Earth.
That's harsh. He even makes that dark comment about the Covenant keeping her company.
It's the brutal calculus of command under extreme duress. The mission, the survival of the species, overrides everything else, even loyalty to a comrade.
But escaping that immediate threat leads Keyes' team straight into something worse.
Much worse. They're looking for a weapons cache. They enter this old structure and find a slaughterhouse inside.
Not clean kills, though.
No. Elite bodies, shredded, ripped apart, like from the inside out. It's gruesome, unnatural. And then they see them.
The flood, these small sort of bulbous, fleshy things.
Yeah, the infection forms. Little spheres, maybe palm-sized, with tentacles and these sharp, needle-like things. Penetrators.
What are they, biologically? The sources describe them pretty horribly.
They're pure parasites. Their entire function is to hijack a host. They latch on, burrow in, usually target the central nervous system. They don't just kill the host. They sort of push the consciousness out, erase it.
And take over the body, weaponize it.
Completely. Turning friend or foe into a puppet, controlled by the flood hive mind, its body horror cranked up to 11.
And Keyes' team realizes the Covenant locked this place up not to keep them out,
but to keep this thing in. They stumble into a containment facility for an ancient biological nightmare.
And just after this discovery, Keyes gets captured.
Yeah, Covenant forces finally corner them. The dropship arrives, overwhelming them. Keyes is taken prisoner.
But the flood sees an opportunity too, right? With Keyes.
A massive opportunity. Keyes holds the location of Earth in his mind. The flood infection begins immediately. Try to consume his thoughts, access that critical data.
So Keyes is fighting this war inside his own head.
His last stand. The sources describe it as this terrifying internal battle. The flood is like a vacuum, trying to suck out his memories, his identity.
But he fights back mentally.
He does. It's his final act of defiance, of sacrifice. He knows he can't physically escape, so he consciously pushes trivial memories towards the flood.
Like what?
Random stuff.
Oh.
A soccer ball from his childhood, the sound of wind chimes, his first kiss, anything meaningless, anything but Earth's location. He's deliberately feeding the parasite noise to delay it.
Buying time with his own memory.
Exactly. Clinging to his identity, piece by piece, feeding it junk data until the void consumes him completely. He protected Earth one last time with the last fragments of his mind. Okay, so Keyes is gone, compromised, the command structure is shattered. It really falls on the ODSTs at Alpha Base now.
And they're running low on supplies, which leads to McKay's raid.
Right. Lieutenant Melissa McKay leads a team back to the crashed Pillar of Autumn. It's a dawn raid, high risk, but absolutely necessary.
What were they after?
Everything.
Yep.
Ammo, food, fuel, medical supplies. And vehicles, warthogs, Scorpion tanks, even those big cargo loader exoskeletons.
Mm-hmm.
They needed heavy gear.
Did they get it?
They did, but it cost them. Heavy casualties taking the crash site and securing the goods. But they got the supplies back.
Which leads to another problem. Getting the convoy back to Alpha Base.
Yeah, that return trip was basically a running gun battle. They were hit by air sport Banshees and heavy Covenant armor, like Wraith tanks.
So how did the ODSTs handle that? They don't exactly have air superiority.
They used smart tactics, combined arms fire, and some clever tricks. There's this Lieutenant Oros.
The one with the flares.
That's her. She realized Banshees are fast, but maybe predictable. She used high-visibility flares to draw their attention, funneling them into specific flight paths.
Setting them up for an ambush?
Exactly. Her rocket teams were waiting, hidden, concentrated fire. They took down 13 Banshees that way.
Right.
Just sheer tactical thinking and disciplined fire overcoming superior enemy tech. It saved the convoy.
Meanwhile, back near Alpha Base, Zuka Zamami, the obsessed elite, makes his move.
His personal vendetta kicks in again. He comes up with this really audacious plan to infiltrate the base.
He captures a Pelican dropship.
Yeah, Charlie 217. And the pilot, Lieutenant Hale, forces Hale to fly them in close.
And then kills him.
Garrots him right after landing. Cold-blooded. To maintain surprise, he's bringing in about 30 elites, all using active camouflage.
Straight into the heart of the ODST base. How did they get past the sensors?
That was the weak point. Wellesley, the AI, points it out later. They just hadn't salvaged enough advanced sensor equipment from the Autumn. Their perimeter wasn't sophisticated enough to pick up 30 cloaked elites on a captured friendly transport.
So 30 invisible elites are suddenly inside the wire? How do you even fight that?
Silva fights dirty. He realizes what's happening, sees the shimmer maybe, or gets a warning, his order. Flood the landing pad with fuel. Now,
just douse a whole area.
And light it up. The elites, relying on stealth, get caught, completely exposed. The sources have this brutal line about them becoming shimmering torches, screaming, dancing torches.
Jeez. Instant incineration.
Neutralized most of them instantly. But some got through, made it to the control room.
So the command center is compromised.
Briefly. Wellesley, the AI, had to basically take over the defense remotely. It couldn't see the elites directly, but their camouflage gives off a heat signature.
Ah, so Wellesley used thermals.
Guided the ODST fire teams using thermal imaging through the corridors. They eventually cleared the control room, but it was incredibly close, a near disaster. Shows how vulnerable they were.
And right after surviving that, McKay's unit runs into the next nightmare.
The other shoe drops. They're out on a mission, get ambushed. But not by Covenant.
By the
all forms. The little infection forms, the big bloated carrier forms that burst, and the combat forms, reanimated bodies.
And they realize the Flood are fighting the Covenant too.
Yeah, total chaos.
Yeah.
A three-way war. McKay has to report this back to Silva. Describe this new enemy. Parasitic, takes over minds, uses bodies.
It changes the whole war.
Completely. And Wellesley provides the terrifying context. Accessing recovered Forerunner data, maybe, it confirms the Flood aren't new. They're ancient.
Contained for 100,000 years.
In those library structures on the ring.
Yeah.
Sealed away. Until the Covenant and humans arrived and basically opened the door, let the plague out.
And McKay sees the combat forms. Sees Jenkins.
Private Wallace Jenkins, one of Keyes' men. Now, a grotesque puppet. Seeing him, seeing Flood-controlled elites, McKay feels this profound despair. She gets it. This isn't about winning territory anymore. This is about extinction.
Yeah.
So the Flood is out. Containment becomes the absolute priority. Which brings us back to Private Jenkins.
The captured Flood form. The one who still has some flicker of himself inside.
Yeah, it's tragic. Trapped inside his own body, controlled by the parasite, but some tiny part of the real Jenkins is still aware.
And he tries to warn them or stop them.
He tries to sabotage the launch. They have him chained up on the captured Covenant cruiser, the Truth and Reconciliation, which Silva plans to fly back to Earth.
With Flood specimens aboard, is he insane?
He's blinded. Blinded by the thought of ODST glory, of bringing back a war prize, rallying humanity. He's not thinking clearly about the biohazard. Wellesley is screaming warnings at him, but Silva orders the launch.
So Jenkins, what does he do?
He can't speak. He can't control his limbs properly. But he lunges, throws his infected body violently towards this crucial fiber optic conduit, the ship's nerve center, basically connecting the bridge to the engines.
Trying to break it. Stop the ship.
A final act of sacrifice. And this forces Lieutenant McKay's hand. She's standing right there. She sees Jenkins' desperate act. She hears Wellesley's warnings. She looks at Silva, lost in his dreams of victory.
And she has to choose. Obey orders or protect Earth.
It's the ultimate conflict. Duty to her commander versus duty to humanity. The sources imply her decision strongly. Silva wants to go home a hero.
But McKay knows that ship cannot leave Halo.
Her duty is to billions back on Earth. She has to stop Silva, stop the ship, contain the Flood. The source confirms her implied action later, with Wellesley's grim line as the ship is eventually destroyed. You taught her well, Major.
Implying she learned the lesson Silva didn't. The mission comes before glory. Wow.
While all that drama unfolds on the Truth and Reconciliation, the Master Chief gets pulled aboard too.
He's looking for Keyes.
Guided by Cortana, yeah. But the ship is a nightmare. crawling with flood. Flood fighting Covenant remnants, flood fighting the Ring Zone Sentinel drone. It's chaos.
And Cortana tells him Keyes is lost.
Worse than lost, compromised. The flood is actively trying to pry Earth's location from his dying mind. He can't be rescued. He has to be neutralized, contained. Leaving him, even his body, is too great a risk.
Ooh. And this is when Cortana figures out the ring's real purpose from the monitor.
Exactly. She interfaces with 343 Guilty Spark, the ring's AI caretaker. And Spark reveals the horrifying truth. Halo isn't a weapon against the flood in the way they thought.
It doesn't just kill flood.
No. It kills the flood's food, everything else. It's designed to wipe out all sentient life in a massive radius. Humans, Covenant, everyone, to starve the flood into dormancy. Universal genocide as a containment strategy.
And Spark wants the chief to activate it, believing it's the right thing to do.
Yes. It sees the flood outbreak and thinks, time to initiate containment protocol. It sees the chief as the reclaimer, meant to trigger the sequence.
So the monitor is now the biggest threat.
Absolutely. The chief and Cortana realize they have to stop Spark and destroy the ring itself. They escape the monitor and race back to the Pillar of Autumn.
To blow it up, use its reactors.
The only way. Detonate the fusion core, take Halo out with it. But Spark, being an annoying AI, tries to stop them. It remotely locks out the detonation sequence.
So the chief has to do it manually.
He has to physically go into the reactor core, overload it, destabilize it, turn the whole ship into a giant thermonuclear bomb on a timer.
While fighting through the wreck.
Which is now also crawling with flood, sentinels, remaining Covenant. It's this insane, desperate race against time through the burning guts of the autumn.
And they lose Foehammer here, don't they? Echo 419.
Yeah. Tragic moment. She comes in for the final pickup, the escape flight, gets shot down by Banshees right at the last second. So close.
But the chief makes it.
Barely. Scrambles into a longsword fighter in Launch Bay 7, punches it out into space just as the Autumn's fusion drive goes critical.
Explosion.
Takes out a huge chunk of Halo. The sources say it carves a 5-kilometer crater in the ring, sterilizes the whole area. Halo is shattered. The immediate flood threat is contained. The galaxy is saved. For now. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay. Wow. Let's just take a breath. That was a lot. So summing up what we've pulled from these sources.
We saw the complete breakdown of standard military operations. The shift from fighting a known enemy, the Covenant, to confronting this completely unknown existential horror, the flood.
Right. And the huge difference in how the humans fought back. You had the ODSTs, brave, disciplined, using traditional tactics, but paying a heavy price.
Absolutely. Classic infantry relying on structure, teamwork, Major Silva's leadership, but facing devastating losses.
And then you have the Master Chief. Almost a force of nature. One augmented soldier operating outside the rules, using advanced tech instinctively.
A completely different approach to warfare, really. Necessary, maybe, but different.
And the psychological toll. You really feel it in the sources. Marcus's exhaustion, Keyes fighting that horrifying battle in his own mind, Jenkins. God, Jenkins trapped in his own body.
Survival wasn't just about shooting aliens. He was about mental fortitude, impossible choices. Keyes sacrificing Dowski, then his own memories. McKay potentially defying orders to save Earth. These individual decisions shaped everything.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to chew on. Major Silva and his ODSTs, they embodied that fierce belief. Human beings will win this war. Through grit, discipline, normal human courage.
They were the epitome of the traditional soldier fighting with everything they had. But think about how the actual survival played out.
Yeah, preventing the flood escape, destroying Halo, that ultimately relied on the Master Chief, this freak super soldier.
And on Cortana and Wellesley, these powerful AIs operating outside the direct human command chain. Silva's path, the traditional path, arguably would have led to disaster if McKay hadn't intervened, if the chief hadn't succeeded.
So does humanity's future survival, facing threats like the flood or even the Covenant, depend on leaving behind the idea of the normal soldier? Do we need to fully embrace the augmented, the artificial, the other, like the Master Chief and Cortana?
Are the ODSTs a symbol of a past heroism, noble but ultimately insufficient? Or is the Master Chief, the technologically and biologically enhanced warrior, the necessary, maybe unsettling future of human defense? Something to think about.